Okay, episode 8, Portrait of Hiccup as a Buff Man.
Still can't see it. Still can't see it. Even though they painted it.
Yeah. It works. Very good. I mean, this first season's really starting to hit their stride.
This was really a finding yourself episode.
Yeah. And that's essentially what the whole first movie was about.
Yeah. I mean, it's the father issue of expectation.
And Stoic didn't essentially mean it this time.
Yeah, it just happened. I mean, it happened before with the first Viking king, chief, whatever.
Except based on the painting, Hamish the First, I guess, didn't really feel the same way.
Yeah,
about
he
his
didn't
son.
have the great revelation. But I mean, this Hamish the Second liked his father enough to bury him with the treasure. So
yeah. Unfortunately, they don't get the treasure, I guess. According to Not Loud. But this is a very good episode. It felt sort of like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
There's
Especially
a lot
with
of nods.
Yeah, the traps and the riddles and the you have to choose one. That was very much Indiana Jones right there. Especially with like the Holy Grail one. What was that one called?
I don't know. I've never seen any Indiana Jones.
It wasn't Raiders of the Lost Ark, was it?
Maybe you guys can help us out and put it down in the comments.
No, it wasn't Raiders of the Lost Ark, because the Lost Ark was the one that, with the Nazis and their faces melted and shrunk and whatnot, and the one guy exploded and beautiful. It was, The Last Crusade! Yeah, that's the one with the Holy Grail. Because that was the one where he had to solve riddles and
I'll have to find
use
that
the Jewish
and watch it, I
alphabet,
guess.
and yeah, that was fun.
But this episode was really good, and I can't really complain too much about it. The plot was sort of weird, and the technology didn't really line up.
Yeah.
Because they...
Especially for a first-generation king, you know. I mean... Yeah,
it's been established that we are in the Middle Ages.
So doors should not... I mean, the pulling the two stones out at the same time was pretty cool, but the doors should not slide open on their own and slide closed on their own.
Yeah.
I mean, they were kind of going with Tolkien there, and they don't really have magic. They have dragons, but they don't have magic.
Yeah.
So that's not really possible, but...
You can see where they were going with it.
And then they lit torches that were several hundred years old. That doesn't work either.
Yeah. I'm guessing 150 years old, because...
Well, they
were buried... I saw the paintings. Stoic's father was Hamish the Second, based on the paintings of the shield. Right?
I think Hamish the First and Hamish the Second were the very first king and son.
No, there were some more shields before.
There was a bit more between
Yeah,
Stoic and Hamish, though.
At least 100 years.
And Hamish was blonde. Both of the Hamishes were blonde.
That's
and
right, yeah,
Stoic's dad looked just like Stoic. And Stoic's son looked just like a buffer Hiccup. Or Stoic looked like a buffer Hiccup.
Yeah. And then we get Hiccup.
That just, no. No.
Yeah.
That does not work with the personality.
No. Although I think based on... Maybe Bucket was kind of being like philosophical and showing that Hiccup was really actually strong. Sort of like interpreting. Because Hiccup is actually the manliest Viking they ever had there. I mean, not physically, but I mean, mentally. So,
but
maybe...
He was also kind of just doing the Viking thing where you can't have a Hiccup.
Yeah, so... It works. I mean, I can't really complain about this episode. This is a great episode.
Yeah.
Again, going back to technology, it doesn't really work.
The rising pedestals especially.
Yeah.
It worked in Indiana Jones with the the temples and everything that he'd go into, but
you can accept that in that universe because that hasn't really,
because they were 100 years prior to when he was doing his archaeology digs, which was in the 1950s, 60s. So that kind of worked. So that made the temples invented around the 1800s.
Yeah, 1850s.
But in this case,
60s,
we're in like the 1400s, and these have been here since like the 1300s. That just doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, this is like during the Knights and Dark Ages era.
Yeah.
So they
still have stone weapons, which means they're getting
stone
out of the
metal
tail,
weapons.
Yeah, they're getting out of the tail end of the Stone Age, and they're going into the Iron Age as their reference to iron.
You mean the Bronze Age?
Well,
bronze, iron,
and
then steel.
They didn't have too much bronze. They have iron, so they're in the Iron Age.
Yeah, but I mean, you said from stone to iron.
They've been there as long as the Stone Age, which is why they still have stone weapons, but they're in the Iron Age.
Yeah, the hammers and such.
Yeah.
So
stone hammers, stone maces, that's what they've got. But
yeah,
they're into the Iron Age because they have iron swords and iron nails.
Iron sword,
and
nails.
They're living in wooden houses.
So the technology doesn't line up. I can look past it because it works and it's a great story.
Yeah.
The plot's weird, but it works.
And kids aren't really going to question the technology. They're
Yeah.
just gonna be like, oh, cool! Rising pillars!
Pedestals!
And a door that opens and closes on its own.
Yeah, we have those now. Thanks, Star Trek. We have those now, thank you. You are now obsolete.
Well, Star Trek helped pave the way for just about every technology we have, including Google Lens.
Sci-fi actually paved the way for a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Jurassic Park. We're already reverse engineering birds to be dinosaurs, even though technically the birds are dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But we're pushing them back. So, yeah, sci-fi paved the way for a lot of
We're
stuff.
growing sheep in artificial wombs.
We clone sheep. I think it's only a matter of time before we get past our whole thing and start cloning humans.
Yeah, I mean, they're already creating inventions so you can grow a baby in your home without, like, in an artificial womb.
Yeah.
They make an incubator box that you can put in your living room.
And you can watch it.
And feel it!
Really?
Yeah, they make an apparatus that transfers movement. It's sort of like the devices they strap onto men so men can feel period cramps and birth and whatnot. It's artificial, but it's supposed to mirror what's going actually on in the artificial womb. It's a bit messed up. Personally, I think the only reason you'd want to grow a baby in your living room is either because you have an infertile female or because you're gay.
Nothing against that.
Yeah, there's nothing against that. I mean, I personally...
There's a biological reason, so...
Yeah.
Unless you have a surrogate, or apparently one of these...
Yeah, and finding a surrogate is very difficult.
You could adopt as well if you wanted to.
Yeah, and some people really want their own kid.
Yeah.
And I mean...
Some people don't mind, but...
And getting a surrogate is difficult because you pick a surrogate, and either she's already pregnant, or you help make her pregnant via in vitro or artificial insemination. And she actually, if she delivers the baby and decides she wants to keep it, she gets to keep it because she delivered it.
Mm-hmm.
So if she wants to keep it, you're SOL. You don't got a kid now. So this takes out that...
Although I do think people could... Laws could change a little bit.
Could fight for it, especially
It's unlikely, though.
Yeah, I mean, usually the surrogate mother gets the baby if she wants the baby. Which...
I've read that has happened to some people.
Oh, yeah, it happens a lot, especially with, like, couples that... Like, heterosexual couples who are unable to have babies oftentimes are the ones who get a surrogate mother. And because she's in... It's just... Usually the surrogate mother is just pregnant when they find her. And she's like, I don't think I want this baby, so when I have it, it's yours. And then sometimes she changes her mind after she sees the baby.
But we're really off topic now. Yeah. We went from dragon to sci-fi to...
Modern
medicine and ethical issues.
Yeah.
But back on track. We have an issue with this. We get off track a lot. I think this is the most off track we've ever been.
Yeah, if you want to, you can edit it out.
Nah, we'll leave it in. It's good information for people to learn.
Yeah.
But really, the excellent episode. I can't complain about it. But we should end this off here and go on to the next one.
Yeah.
The next episode, I believe, is called Dragon Flower. You say what to a lot of these titles. You said what to Hiccup? Portrait of a Hiccup as the Buff Man, Alvin and the Outcast.
There's some weird titles they're picking here.
But so far, most of them have worked.
Yeah.
The Terrible Twos is really the only one gripe I have. But other than that, titles seem to be okay at least.
Yeah.
But I guess you'll see us whenever you click to the next video. Till then, sayonara.